Welcome to the Executive Programs Online Graduation Celebration. I'm Gwen Webb, Associate Dean for Executive Programs in the Zicklin School. Thank you for joining us in this virtual toast to celebrate graduates of our classes of 2020. This isn't what we expected, but the times are what they are. We will have our traditional, more formal celebration in the future when we are able to join together in person in groups of more than 100. For now, however, there is no less joy in celebrating your achievements together online. A few quick pointers about Zoom. We recommend that you opt for the active speaker view to get the best viewing experience. We are recording this Zoom call and are streaming live on the Zicklin Facebook webpage. Please feel free to use Zoom's chat feature throughout the presentation to congratulate our graduates. In today's program, we are honored to hear from our academic directors and from a graduating member of each program who was nominated by their classmates. We will close with a toast to all graduates and see photos of their time with us here at Zicklin. I am now very pleased to welcome the Willem Quaker Dean of the Zicklin School of Business, Dr. Fenwick Huss.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's my pleasure first to congratulate our graduates and also to thank their families and friends for the wonderful support that they've given our graduates through this academic journey. I would also like to recognize the very challenging times in which we live. We really face two pandemics, one COVID-19 and the second institutionalized racism. But you, I believe, with all of us together, can be the hopeful agents for change going forward. Churchill was once asked in the depths of the war, when times were the worst, how he expected to be treated by history. His response was very simple. He said, I expect to be treated very well because I'm going to write much of it. Sounds like old Winston was a little arrogant, but he wasn't. His reminder to all of us is, we have a chance to write history. We have a chance to write a history of inclusion, a history of fairness, a history of respect. And we also have a chance to write a professional history that I know we will all be proud of what you accomplish. We congratulate you. You are joining today 158,000 Baruch alumni around the world. Welcome to that wonderful family, and my congratulations and best wishes. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dean Huss. Congratulations to all of our graduates. We never expected to face a global pandemic that was going to disrupt so many of our well-laid plans. Now our nation is facing even greater challenges that deal with racial issues that have been for centuries in the making. You graduates are entering business world with new challenges, and now with your degree, you will have even greater ability to meet these challenges than before. I want to recall, do you remember back a year or two ago when you applied to your program? You sent us a resume to get feedback on whether you met the admission requirements of the program. In your application, do you remember writing the essays? You told us your story and how the program would fit into your career plans. And then in your personal interview, you and your academic director discussed how the program would help you build on your previous record of success and open new doors. What we saw in each of you then was a record of success in your career to that point and the potential for continued achievement. Now you've successfully completed your degree, or for finance and IS students, you are 90% of the way through. You are leaving us with new skills, knowledge, and a network of peers who will be there to support you throughout your career. We hope that as alumni of the Zicklin School of Business, you will rise to the new challenges. We hope you see opportunities as much as you see challenges. Above all, in these times of challenge and change, we hope to see you not only as part of the solution, but as professionals stepping up as leaders as we in America find our way to a more just society. We look forward to seeing your future success, no matter what path you may take in your career, and wish each of you the very best. Now, I'm very delighted to introduce our first academic director, Professor Raquel Ben-Bunin-Feach of our Executive MBA program, and our first student representative, Mr. Tony Jules. So please go ahead, Professor Ben-Bunin-Feach.
Thank you, Associate Dean Webb. Hello, everyone, deans, faculty, students, and guests. To all the executive students graduating today, congratulations. To the MBA 37 students, It seems like the past 20 months flew by. My term as academic director started in the summer of 2018, just when I was interviewing some of you. I welcome you to the program in your first class, and I attended your last class virtually, where you presented the South Africa business proposals. In looking back, I treasure great memories of my time with you. The first time we all got together and as a cohort in the Palisades, our holiday party picture in the photo booth, our class discussions in CIS, which are very timely right now, by the way, our informal conversations on Saturdays at lunch or during the breaks, our anticipation of the international study tour, and our collective disappointment when our hopes were dashed by the pandemic. Today, we celebrate the culmination of your EMBA program. With virtual pomp, given the circumstances, your academic achievement is a testament to your talent, tenacity, and teamwork. As a group, you are one of the most resilient, resourceful, and remarkable cohorts we have ever had in the EMBA program. I am confident that better days are ahead and that we will be able to celebrate your accomplishments in person soon, very soon. I hope you stay engaged with the school, remain connected with each other, and contribute to make the world a better place. Let me recognize each one of you by name. Elsa Alford, Kostop Bat, Giselle Fernandez, Zohar Gozalov, Fazir Haroun, Antonio Jules, Sashay Lee, Richard Maiwa, Erin Mendez, Natalie Maitin, Alisa Munro, Asia Nagdimova, Jose Ramirez, Lauren Sherwin, Natalia Tilishin. I am proud of each and every one of you. Congratulations. Now I will hand it over to Tony Jules, who will say a few words on behalf of the EMBA 37 cohort.
Congratulations, EMBA 37. We can now proudly claim the distinction of being part of the graduating class of 2020. It's been a tumultuous year fraught with fear, disappointment, sadness, uncertainty, and even violence. But in this moment, among this group, I'm filled with hope, pride, and a tremendous sense of anticipation at the opportunities that lie ahead of us to continue to grow, lead, and make a profound impact on the world in the coming years. I'm confident of this because of who we are and what we've already accomplished together. We began our academic journey as a group of individuals with incredibly diverse backgrounds, seeking to find the common threads that would keep us together throughout our program and beyond. We quickly identified EMBA 37's cornerstones: intellectual curiosity and an undeniable drive to grow as individuals and professionals. We became a cohort who will forever smile when anyone quotes Alexander the Great, a cohort who can refine any relationship into a slogan that can fit on a t-shirt, a cohort that understands that our ability to tap into our potential is no longer limited by our considerable individual talents. We'll forever have each other. We all began our academic journey with a strong sense of responsibility to invest in our personal growth. Today, as we graduate, having achieved this goal, a sense of responsibility must expand beyond ourselves. We must now assume responsibility to support each other in our journeys to become leaders and agents of change. We must now assume responsibility to build on the Baruch traditions and join and surpass the incredible alumni who came before us. Finally, in this time of blatant racial and economic inequity, lackluster leadership and chaos, we must become the next generation of leaders and drive permanent change. We must now move forward and assume responsibility for the world. Thank you and congratulations, EMBA 37. And now I'm happy to introduce Professor Alex Smith, Academic Director for Executive Master of Business Administration in Healthcare Administration.
Thank you very much, Tony. I'm Alex Mills. I'm the Academic Director of the Executive MBA in Healthcare Administration. Thank you all for being here virtually today And congratulations to all of the executive program's graduates. And to the graduating members of the Executive MBA in Healthcare Administration Cohort 48, the last time I saw most of you, you had just finished presenting your capstone projects. In those presentations, you displayed deep knowledge of the healthcare system, analytical and quantitative skills, persuasive communication, and most importantly, teamwork. Many of you breathed a sigh of relief at the end of those presentations. After all, you had just completed 2.5 years of challenging academic work while juggling your jobs and personal responsibilities. Now, at the time, few of us thought that New York City's healthcare system would suddenly become a real-time management case study, but it did. And like all crises, COVID-19 pandemic has demanded that our healthcare leaders demonstrate analytical thinking, calm and clear communications, and most of all, teamwork. Recovering from this crisis is going to require new ways of providing healthcare and new ways of doing business in the healthcare sector. And I can't think of anyone better prepared to provide that leadership than the 24 students graduating today with MBAs in Healthcare Administration. And on behalf of all the program faculty, congratulations on your accomplishments as Zicklin students, and I can't wait to see what you accomplish as Zicklin alums. And I will now recognize each of the students graduating in EMBA Healthcare Administration's Cohort 48. Whitney Cadena, Carrie Calderon, Matthew Carbalal, Sharmishta Chaudhry, Mackenzie Dorelas, Jennifer Eftihiu, Christopher Favaloro, Kelly Ferguson, Brian Hyzak, Ephraim Ibrahimov, Joshua Jerome, Tyrone Johnson, Andrew Yuschak, Peter Kaganovich, Melinda Leash, Mara McCormack, Anna Okanuski, Brendan Owens, Shelley Chu, Caitlin Sanford, Kong Shen, Monica Trasick, Ben Weinrip, and Hassan Yusuf. Please join me in congratulating these outstanding graduates. I will now turn the program over to Ben Weinrip, who has been chosen by his classmates to deliver remarks on behalf of the cohort. Ben?
Hello, I'm Ben Weinrip, and I'm proud to represent the Executive MBA in Healthcare Administration class of 2020. Thank you all for making time to be here virtually, and congratulations to all of the graduates. This is not a normal graduation, and these are not normal times. Over the past 3 months, our New York City hospitals, which most of my classmates work for, have been at the epicenter of the pandemic. Nurses and doctors have bared a huge burden, and those in administration have had to adapt. Yet we often forget about the people who work in our hospitals, cleaning, cooking, caring for, and protecting the sick, who are disproportionately people of color. Through the peak of the pandemic, they have continued to care for the sick, putting themselves and their families in harm's way. African Americans are dying from the coronavirus at nearly twice the rate of the general population, and Hispanics and Latinos are also affected at a greater rate. During this already challenging time, the tragic killings of Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, and George Floyd have torn open wounds that have been festering in this country for hundreds of years. For too long, we have been complacent with normal, with the way things have been. In the United States, the richest, most powerful country on earth, normal is women making 79 cents for each dollar men make. Our maternal mortality rate is 56 globally, with a rate 2.5 times higher for Black women than for white women. Over 10 million adults report an unmet need for mental health care. 27.5 million people lacked health insurance for all of 2018. More than 67,000 Americans died from drug-involved overdose in 2018. And despite making up close to 5% of the global population, the United States has nearly 25% of the world's prison population. US presidents have deployed the National Guard 12 times. 10 were responses to racial tensions. We have a population of 330 million people, and we own 393 million firearms. Last year, there were 417 mass shootings and 112 school shooting incidents. Normal is not working. My classmates all come from different backgrounds, yet we all have something in common. We have the power to enact change. We now have more years of formal education than 87% of Americans. We must use this knowledge and power to bring about positive change because normal will no longer cut it. What I'm challenging myself and my classmates to do is to use all we have learned about healthcare, policy, finance, global perspectives, marketing, and statistics to create a new normal. Here are a few things we can all do. Vote and encourage others to vote. Fill out the census, protest, donate money and time. Continue to educate yourself and others. Have uncomfortable conversations with your family and friends, and demand change in the institutions you work for. Thank you for your time. Congratulations, and now is the time for action. I'm happy to introduce Sonali Hazaraki, Academic Director of the Executive MS in Finance.
Thank you, Ben. I'm the Academic Director of the Executive MS in Finance program. I'm Sonali Hazarika. I want to begin by congratulating everyone, all the executive students, for doing such a fabulous job and graduating today. A special shout out to the AMSF class of 2020. When you started this journey, this day seems so far away, but here we are. For most cohorts, graduating with a master's degree in 11 months while working full-time is reasons for kudos enough. But for you 12, it is particularly creditable as you did it during a pandemic, which hit New York City especially hard. I want to thank you all for your resilience as we work to postpone the international trip, which I know was something you all were really looking forward to, and made mid-semester transitions to online learning. I want to make a special mention that all the faculty who taught you online were very happy with how much you guys gave to it, how very comfortable you were with the change. And I know there were people who were not from even New York City. We had somebody who used to dial in from Russia, and she actually joined when the timing was exactly the opposite. She's 12 hours away in terms of time, so it's extremely creditable what your cohort did. Despite the odds, you persisted, helped each other, and we are all celebrating your success today. In your finance courses, you learned about risk, uncertainty, and black swan events. A black swan is typically defined as an extremely rare event with severe consequences. Well, would you have imagined when you started the program in August last year that you would be graduating during the black swan of 2020? A novel coronavirus which has disrupted life as we know it. You are graduates of an excellent program. You gained insights, knowledge, and skills from world-class faculty and a network of peers. You are prepared. Be confident. Prepared to be leaders. Leaders are not born, they are made, they say. And in these uncertain times, great leaders are really needed. My sincere hope and request to each one of you is that you meet this challenge head on. You become purpose-driven leaders in your organizations and your communities. The pandemic has impacted people in different ways, some more than others. Be honorable, be compassionate. Business as usual is now different and evolving, and you are going to be at the forefront of this change. So own the change, lead with purpose, lead with ethics and values which will define the business and the world of tomorrow. The entire Baruch community, the faculty, the staff, alumni, and students are rooting for you. Wish you all the very, very best as you begin the exciting new chapter of your life. And now I'm going to honor each one of the students by name. Start with Bashir Alhaz, Hadel Bulgin, Venkat Bulusu, Ari Hernandez Espinosa, Jolin Lombardo, Vera Malseva, Norman Rana, Namita Rathore, Joanna Rivera, George Silvestre, Juan Carlos Tavares Echegaray, Keith Warner. And now I'm going to pass on to Keith Warner, who is the student representative who will speak for EMSF 23.
Thank you, Professor Hazarika. Again, I'm Keith Warner, and I was fortunate to have been chosen by my classmates to say a few words for cohort 23 of the Executive Master of Finance program. Technically, today is our graduation, but we do have one more class weekend, a final project, and if I know my classmates, lots of us have put off homework until the last minute for the midnight deadline tonight. However, we are all very excited to be here. Firstly, thank you all for attending. None of us could have imagined the pivots and twists we went through this year, and we're so grateful for the support and love our friends, family, and fellow classmates have given us. We truly could not have done this without you. I myself am especially grateful to my wife, Allison, who endured and supported all the class weekends away, late nights working on homework, study sessions, and projects at the library. Allison, I am happy to say we finally have our weekends back. We also want to express gratitude to our talented professors, deans, administrators, and also the caterers and support staff. You did a great job of feeding our minds and bodies. I can personally attest to the freshman 15, or I'll call the executive 18 pounds I gained in the program because of all the meals, coffee and snack breaks, and occasional stress eating. But seriously, every last detail was well taken care of. All we had to do was show up for class each week ready to learn. Even as the COVID pandemic emerged, we quickly switched to Zoom classes with no interruption in our curriculum. We're thankful for all the assistance in helping us be the very best students we could be. I'm going to share a few mottos with you that summed up our experience and grit in reaching this great achievement. These come from influential figures in my own life. The first one, believe it or not, was from my childhood dentist, Dr. Jack. Upon learning I was headed off to college at age 18, he gave me a copy of James Allen's self-help book, As a Man Thinketh, and inside he wrote, "Perseverance is everything." And the ability to persevere, both individually and as a group, got us together over this finish line. Perseverance really is everything. The second motto comes from my father, that you never forget your roots or where you came from. Look back and see how far you've come, and it will amaze you what you are capable of. It's hard to believe we all met for the first time almost a year ago for orientation. Meeting new students in all the exec programs and building lifelong friendships, I'm grateful to take away from our experience. Come August, we jumped right into class, covering subjects like corporate finance, statistics, cryptocurrency, derivatives, case studies, and spreadsheets. An avalanche of spreadsheets over the course of the year. As time passed, our conversations and engagement got deeper and more passionate. We started new jobs and businesses and together celebrated each other's personal, professional, and academic achievements. Before our very eyes, we became true business and finance professionals, able to apply what we learned, often the following Monday at work after a class weekend. The transformation was incredible and really showed just how far we've come while never forgetting our roots. And finally, one last motto has stuck with me and become especially poignant, not only as we finish this program and move on to bigger and better things, but also to help steer ourselves through the pandemic, injustice, and new world we find ourselves in. Mr. Parati, my high school math teacher, had 4 simple words for us. Be much, become more. By acceptance and completion of this program, you've all proven how much you are. Now take this, go with it, and become more. In this world, we have already achieved and been so much, but we can become so much more. In business and in life, never forget to be much and become more. Congratulations, class of 2020. Thank you for this opportunity and best of luck. And now it's my pleasure to introduce Professor Stefan Dilcher, Academic Director of the Executive Masters in Human Resource Management Program.
Thank you very much, Keith. Before I address our students and esteemed guests, I'd like to switch to the live stream of the Barclay Center, where our EMS HRM cohort is currently sheltered in place and looking amazing in their caps and gowns. I will adjust my screen a little bit so you can see their faces. We won the Spirit Awards during the welcome weekend, and I think we deserve it again today. So, dear executive HRM students, you're graduating today with a degree with a long history at Baruch College. You're cohort 24. To me, you will always be cohort 1. Yes, you're the first cohort graduating with the EMS HRM credential, or like I like to call your degree, the M.Sherm. But very personal to me, you're the first of my students to graduate. You've gone through so much together: standardized interviews, building bikes, late night sessions at the library, and more statistics than any HR major would ever want to learn. But this is just the beginning. I told you the 20 months would fly by, and I'm sure during some of my lectures you didn't believe me. But I know from experience that over the next few years, you will often wish you could go back to the protected environment of the classroom and do it all over again. The world is always changing, but in the last few months, it has changed a lot, at least for many of us. Like I told you last week, you and your talents are needed now more than ever. You are people. Within the world of work, HR practitioners are counselors, social workers, and also rule enforcers at the same time. You work for organizations, but you serve people. 33 years ago, the famous work psychologist Ben Schneider proposed a radical theory. Organizations are a function of the kinds of individuals they contain. Specifically, applied to the world of human resources, he postulated that organizations are who they attract, select, and retain. People are the ingredient that make organizations great, not the other way around. I know that you as a group are passionate and motivated, that you have the talents and skills to transform the world of work. My biggest wish for your future is that you will find happiness in doing so. I'd like to acknowledge each one of you by reading your names right now. Our 11 EMS HRM students are Francisco Amarante, Eli Boyle, Jenny Chan, Susan Clasp Cumberbatch, Rose Fathers, Stephanie Garcia, Emily McManus, Griselle Nadal, Shai Riviera, Munifa Roberts, and Tunde Weeks. I'm so proud of you. I want to thank you for bringing your talents to our program at the Zicklin School of Business. And I want to thank your parents, your partners, your siblings, your children, and your friends for supporting you on this journey. It's your accomplishment. But I hope that today you can celebrate with those who have made it possible. I'd like to now give the word to Munifa Roberts, who has been chosen to speak on behalf of her cohort.
Hello, everyone. I hope you're all doing well. Sorry for the festive, beautiful background. I'll make this quick because I can definitely make it that long. There's power in allowing yourself to be known and heard and owning your unique story and using your authentic voice. First Lady, and will always be, Michelle Obama. This is her words. As you know, my name is Munifa Roberts. I am proudly a part of the Executive Masters Human Resources Management Cohort 24. Let's talk about change and courage. On August 27th, 2018, at 6 p.m., 11 of us walked into class looking for change, and frankly, that takes courage. For most of us, we share a common space for the first time. New faces became familiar faces with smiles and intellect that created a powerful dynamic. We are not just cohort 24 or a cohort of 11. We are change agents. We entered the Executive Masters program in Human Resources Management to change our approach to the world, our country, our state, our city or town, our community, ourselves. Right now, the state of the world is tightly tangled in knots, and untying is riddled with despair and frustration. We are in knots. Undo them. Undo the intersectionality of privilege and oppression, the silence on racial injustice, complacency, and the abhorrent acts of discrimination. We first start with holding ourselves accountable, and then we bring our unknotted, authentic voices to work, ready to be the conduit for change. Before writing this speech, I wanted to be sure to include the powerful voices of our cohort, HRM. So I asked the scholars to share how they plan to impart what we learned to change the lineage of inequities that exist in our lives. As a collective, this is what we plan to do. We plan to encourage people to be courageous and challenge dissonant conversations and actions of inequity in every environment. We plan to disrupt and diversify homogeneity at the C-suite level. We plan to embed and grow a sustainable diversity, inclusion, and action department into every organization we choose to be a part of. We believe in the change we are capable of creating. There's so much more I'd love to say, but before I go, I want you to remember that we must not forget that it takes courage to stand up with humanity and to hold yourself accountable for positive change. Desmond Tutu said, "Do your little bit of good where you are." It's those little bits of good put together that overwhelm the world. We are the future of human resources. And I'm so proud to be a part of this cohort, Professor Dilcher and every other professor that came before us and are coming again ahead. And before I go, I'd like to pass it along to Professor Albert Croker, the Director of Information Systems. Thank you very much.
Okay, hello everyone. Congratulations. Congratulations to all of the graduating students in the EMS, the Executive Master of Science program in Information Systems with a concentration in data analytics. It's probably the program with the longest name. And to all of the fellow graduates in the other programs. I also would like to thank all of you who are essential workers in healthcare and other areas for your efforts and sacrifices. For the IS program, you are cohort number 1, so I can truly say you guys are number 1. You have set the stage for all of the cohorts to come. As you have learned from us, we have learned from you, and we will use those lessons learned as we move forward, and I hope that you will join us in this effort. I am not known for being a morning person. However, I truly enjoyed being there on those Saturdays and Sundays when our classes were in session, watching you as you engage with each other. That was truly the building of a cohort, or I should say cohorts because other programs were meeting then also, but building of cohorts and hopefully lifelong friends. You're all graduating during truly tumultuous times, but you are graduating. You have succeeded. You have made what in many cases will be lifelong friends. Hopefully you'll also play a major role in solving the problems, be they systemic racism, pandemics and need for better healthcare systems, and the various interruptions caused by technology that we face today. I wish you continued success, and please stay engaged with us. Please come back and contribute, join us for the various social activities, and play a part in the future cohorts to come. Also, congratulations to Edward, one of the students in my cohort, and his wife, as they set out on a new journey, that of parents, which should be coming shortly. All the best to all of you. And I will now hand over the Zoom session to Nikolai. Oh, I'm sorry, I'll be reading names first. The members of the cohort, we have 8 members in our cohort, and they're all smiling, and they are as follows: Eric Allende, Brian Cush, Benjamin Lamzan, Thomas McDonough, Edward Roland, congratulations again, Nikolai Sampson, Garfield Vernon, and Ching-Yi Claire Wang. Congratulations to all of you. And now I will pass the session over to Nikolai Sampson, who has been selected by our cohort to speak for the cohort. Thank you, and congratulations again.
Thank you, Professor Croker, and thanks to my cohort and the Zicklin administration for giving me the space to speak. I want to make sure that that same space is given to everyone as well. My name is Nikolai Alistair Mohammed Sampson. My pronouns are he, him, and his, and I am part of the Executive Masters of Information Systems program, the first cohort. On behalf of that cohort, I'd like to thank all of our families, partners, and loved ones for supporting us throughout the last year. I'm sure I speak for everyone when I say we could not have done this without you, and the degree we earn today is as much your accomplishment as it is ours. I'd also like to thank all the professors of the program and the staff of the Executive Programs Office. We were never short of questions, especially in our infamous statistics class, but you did the best to answer all of them, and we're very, very grateful for that. As many have said before me, these have been unprecedented times. At the start of our program, we have watched the protest to preserve democracy and individual freedom in Hong Kong. We have worked through a global pandemic that has affected most everyone in the world. And of course, today we see ongoing protests in support of the Black community and against police brutality and systemic racism in America. In these times, it's now important more than ever to understand the impact of our degrees, especially as we think about the ethical issues and biases that exist in technology and data today. As we grow as leaders, not just in our organizations, but in our communities and in our own households, we must remember to act with integrity and do the right thing. It may not be the most popular route, it may not be the easiest route, but we must commit to it. And I'm sure my cohort and I and the rest of the graduates are up for this challenge. In closing, because we are the first cohort, I'd just like to congratulate individually again, Ben, Brian, Claire, Edward, Eric, Garfield, and Tom on being the first graduating class for this program, and remind you to continue committing yourself to the service of others. Be kind and lead with your heart. So thank you. And now I'd like to hand it over to the Associate Dean of Executive Programs, Professor Gwendolyn Webb. Thank you.
Nikolai, thank you very much. Thank all of our academic directors, our faculty, and our students. I have never felt prouder of executive programs. I have never felt more optimistic about what lies ahead for all of us. At this point, I'm happy to welcome Janet Rosbach, who is the Director of Alumni Relations and Volunteer Engagement.
Thank you so much, Gwen, and I concur. You have all spoken so beautifully, and I have great hope and confidence in all of you. My name is Janet Rosbach, and I'm the Director of Alumni Relations and Volunteer Engagement. And I'm so delighted to meet you and wish we were all together in the same room. Over the years, Dean Huss and I have traveled around the country and around the world meeting with Zicklin alumni. One thing I have found is that Zicklin alumni are always the first to respond to our invitations to meet. The alumni who have preceded you from the Zicklin executive programs understand deeply the power of the Baruch Network, and I encourage you to follow in their footsteps. Go on LinkedIn, update your record stating you are a graduate of Baruch College, and start connecting with the close to 120,000 Baruch alumni on LinkedIn. And wherever in the world your career takes you, there will be Baruch alumni to meet. Of the nearly 160,000 alumni worldwide, nearly 108,000 are in the tri-state area, but we also have alumni in 50 states and 123 countries. We have growing alumni networks in cities across the US, from DC to LA, Atlanta to Phoenix, Miami to San Francisco, as well as in London, Paris, Hong Kong, Seoul, and Sao Paulo. After commencement, meaning in the next couple days, you will receive an email from the alumni office with details on alumni benefits and services, as well as invitations to upcoming career workshops, industry conversations, and to join our affinity networks that are needed now more than ever. Our LGBTQ network, our Somos Latinx network, the Robert C. Weaver Society Black Alumni Network, and the Asian Heritage Alumni Network. But more importantly, we want to hear from you. Tell us when you have a new job, got a promotion, are getting married, or having a baby. Tell us when you have a book published or a featured speaker at a conference. Tell us how you want to be active alumni and how we can better serve you in your professional, networking, and lifelong learning needs. We also look forward to you coming back to Baruch to mentor and to speak to current students about what your experience has been since graduation back in 2020. Class of 2020, we are so very proud of you, and we are thrilled to celebrate you today. We look forward to continuing to celebrate you and your accomplishments throughout your lifetime. And just one last note, from now on, please save the date of the second Saturday of December for the best Baruch party of the year, the Executive Programs Holiday Party. I really hope we can celebrate together this December, as this party is for you, and all of us look forward to seeing you there. Welcome to your network. Congratulations and best wishes to you all. Congratulations.
Well, thank you very much, Janet. We'll be together in December if it's safe to do so. So let's hope it's safe to do so by December. I want to thank everyone who spoke, and now it's time for us to join our toast. If you haven't already, please click on your video on button and join me in a toast to the Executive Program's graduation as we celebrate their special day. And last, to commemorate some of the happiest memories of our program, we have a video on photos that the graduates have shared with us for this celebration. So please raise your glasses, give a toast to our graduates, and we will now close with the photos that they have given us.
Congratulations.
Cheers. Congratulations.
Cheers.
Congratulations. All the best.
Cheers.
I think just a moment until our slideshow starts. And here we go. thank you all. Farewell until we meet again, and congratulations to all of our graduates.
Unmute yourselves. Unmute and cheer.
Hey.